you stretch beforehand?
I should have.
Yeah, you're going to have regrets.
Oh, total regrets.
Welcome to the Whiskey and Wine Podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Big Mike.
Hey, welcome. And once again, filming for season 2.
Yep.
So,
Video, we got the lights.
Yeah.
I see, all I see right now are a pair of feet, golf ball, and a red dot.
Yeah, we're watching a little bit of golf right now, and a bunch of yahoos just ran onto the green and got a bunch of stuff all over it, and it's just all sorts of drama in golf. Like those cops need to learn a lesson. Like you gotta know when somebody's itching to run over those ropes. And
That's right.
Get their 30 seconds of fame. Oh, here we go. Here's the putt for the tie. Oh, he did it. Damn, playoff bound.
See?
Oh, like
The crowd goes wild.
Yeah, golf wild.
Yeah.
Well, episode 32. Yeah, 32.
Yep, sounds about right.
God damn. Almost had a guest for today's episode, but he bailed because he had other things going on downstairs, so he chickened out. Almost got Jordan to come back on too, but then he said something about like we'd likely just get him drunk, and then he's got to go to a grad party. And I mean, yeah, I guess he knows our game now.
Dang it, he's on to us.
They're all starting to figure this out.
Oh man, well, I wonder if he's going to be going to any of the grad parties I'm going to.
Yeah, probably.
If he is. I'm coming for you, Jordan.
Yeah, come. You should roll in hot and just be like, you and I are doing shots. Not going to be on the episode today? Hey, guess what? I'm going to make you get this way one way or the
That's
other.
Right. That's right. Big Mike will try to go 2 days back to back, coming in hot.
Yeah, that sounds like there were some regrets there, too.
I mean, it was fun. I just realized this morning that at my current status as far as age and, just where I'm at in my life, I'm not as young as I think sometimes. So.
Recovering is not as easy as it used to be.
And it's not even the recovery from the alcohol.
Yeah.
It was the recovery of the fifth meal I tried to consume at like 11 p.m. that was not fast food, an actual sit-down. Man, it was just a long weekend. It was a really long weekend. Did Jordan? He had family.
Yeah.
He had family at the
fine.
showcase, so I feel like I didn't see him at the stop that we had before.
Yeah.
At Old Walter. We literally owned the bar. It was kind of comical. We had the matinee and then the showcase, right?
Yeah.
We ended up going literally right after the dads did their dance, because it was a short matinee. It was mostly small kids.
Yeah.
So all the older dads went over there. We had one Feeney, right? His senior year, it was his swan song. He's all done, but he went over there and held the table for us.
Yeah.
And we went over after the dad dance, and it was literally just Feeney in the entire bar. And then we came in fairly hot, and then throughout the day, families started showing up, husbands and wives started showing up, and I bet you the kids must have had, I'm trying at 6. I bet you it was around 5, because I think that's when the kids had to be dropped off for the night show. And then it was just, I'm talking full families, grandparents, everyone. And we literally took over the bar and the restaurant. It was very comical.
So that was an afternoon of fuck around and find out.
Kind of, yeah. It started off just as a kind of fuck around, and then I found out this morning.
You found out.
It was a little delayed, but it was fun.
Well, this week we're drinking a little something local-ish. Woodinville Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 90 proof out of Woodinville, Washington.
Hey, Pac Northwest, look at that.
Right there. Here.
Show it off, Vanna.
Vanna White thing.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. There we go. All right, that's about all I got. I'm exhausted now.
Hey, you're a good Vanna, buddy.
Well, cheers, Mike.
Oh, yeah, hold on.
Yeah.
Cheers. Boom. Oh, Sundays.
Mm. Well, that's been sitting there for like 20 minutes, so it's opened up a little bit.
It has. I still get a ton of sweetness.
Yeah.
That smell when you first poured.
Yep.
I didn't know anything about this. We had to do a little research,
Yep.
right? And as I was sipping it for the first time, I pulled up some info, and I'm like, wow, it's literally word for word
What you
right
were thinking?
on par. I mean, they were talking about fruits and peaches, and I'm like, holy shit. I don't know if it's my mind playing tricks on me, but very, very sweet right out the bottle.
Well, and you and I are not the most sophisticated palates when it comes to this kind of stuff. So, yeah, we can't really put words to it, but
Bourbon good.
Yeah, it tasty, but not like perfect tasty. It yummy tasty.
Yummy tasty.
Was smoky tasty?
Maybe some fruit.
Nobody's asking us to write a review and be all verbose. Like, no,
Oh, God, no.
Unga drink.
I can barely break down an IPA, right?
You have a hard enough time doing your Tapforia
Yeah,
posts.
10 years of, oh, geez, yeah, don't even get me started on those. But 10 years of buying kegs on a commercial level, I'm like, oh, yeah, no, this one's good. It has good hops. I like it.
And that's it. 10 years, and you're just like, yes or no. It's the old gladiator, thumbs up, thumbs down thing.
I'm a simple man. That's why I feel Kate loves cooking for me, right? We've talked about this in the past. She's like, I tried something new for dinner. Tell me what you like. And I'm like, oh, God, it's freaking delicious. And she's like, everything's delicious. I'm like, no, there's some things I don't like. And she's like, what? And I was like, oh, it's a good question. I know I don't like something. I don't know right now what, but.
So here's a good question for you then. Is there anything that you or Katie have ever cooked in your marriage that you will never do again because you were both just like, yep, that was fucking disgusting? Man. Like, you learned your lesson. You're never doing that one again because it sounded like a good idea. Like, Joanna has a recipe for homemade mac and cheese. So it's like you take milk and heavy cream and cheese and everything else, and you melt it all down, mix it in with the noodles and croutons and a bunch of other stuff, and it's fantastic. However, one time I attempted to do this when we were still living in a studio apartment.
Oh, yeah.
And she was sick, and I was trying to do my best, first time ever doing this. And somehow, so if you make the stove a little too hot and you don't stir the milk fast enough, you burn the milk. And then that flavor is forever in there.
Embedded in the pasta.
Yeah. So it was inedible. Like, the texture was great. The cheeses were all there. Everything else was just right. But all you could smell was burned milk. And so she said, never again.
Never again.
I did... she's made it lots of times, but I don't think I'm allowed to do that.
You've retired from the mac and cheese recipes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. As far as like something turning, that we just didn't like, I don't really think so. Kate is a little more hardcore on the final product, right? She's like, oh, I should have did this, or we probably, added this. And I'm like, I freaking like it. Now, I'm not picky, right?
I can't believe you didn't feather a little Parmesan on the top of this to finish this off. And where's my balsamic glaze?
That's right. I need that balsamic glaze.
Yep.
I'm bougie like that. I get that at Mod for my pizza. I love that balsamic glaze.
Oh,
but no, we've had things like that in the past where, user error, right? We overcook something, undercook something.
Yep.
I remember back in the days, the young days, and not realizing if you bought pre-cooked shrimp, right, that you probably don't want to marinate them in something citrusy because, well, now they're getting double cooked, and little bits like that. Yes, trial and error and learning, right? But as far as like coming up with a recipe, executing the recipe and eating it. No, I think, like I said, I just love food too much. So it would have to be like horrific for Big Mike not to eat it.
I mean, like my parents always told me the story about when they were just newly married out in Michigan, and my mom decided to make something that, like, they couldn't afford good food, so she found canned clams and a bunch of other stuff, and she decided to make a clam spaghetti sauce for spaghetti. And thought it was a good idea, but like not like a fettuccine white sauce, like a red sauce with clams in it.
Okay.
And they both admit that, like, they got done cooking and the smell in the house was so awful. And then they, like, plated it up and they looked at it and they said, well, we don't really have the money for it, but let's go out and eat because we can't eat this. We're just going to throw this in the garbage. We're going to leave the windows open while we're gone and hope to God.
Vent it all out.
Hope to God we just forget everything about this. Like, it never existed and we're never trying this again.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had the red sauce with the clams.
I can tell you it's probably a bad idea.
All right. Well, we'll put that in the Mike's notes of things not to try. I mean, hell, I'll probably try it just to see.
Yeah. Go for it.
Hey, lessons learned.
Make sure you film that for Katie's reaction, because when she throws the pan of clam spaghetti sauce at you, I want that on video.
All right, I'll make sure we get it on
video. So you went in a little hot for recital yesterday.
Well, yeah, it was the day 2, right? It was, it's like golf at this point. Those recitals. My hat goes off to, man, the dancers, the kids, the instructors. I give props to everyone, because recital weekends,
it's a lot,
dude. It's not for the faint of heart.
Nope.
I mean, when were you there? Friday, right?
Yeah, we were just there Friday.
Friday was nice because it was just the one show.
Yep.
Bada bing, bada boom, right? It seems like it was done before you knew it.
Yep.
And everything's good. The Saturday, like I said, man, I lift a glass to everyone involved on all levels, because it's a day, not just for the dancers, but I mean, I think we were at PCC from about 1:30, and I think we got kicked out of the auditorium at 10. It was a day. It was a day at PCC. Now, I did have a small break going over to the old
Walter Middies.
Yeah. We were there for quite some time. Had a really good time in between the two shows. But it was that funky time, right?
Yeah.
So I think we
not
left
really enough time to go back home and
Nope.
sit there, because then you're just going to get like, oh, I don't know if I want to go back over.
Exactly.
And you got to go back over.
Well, it was one of those weird things. Like, I usually would like to eat around 6, right?
Yeah.
Or sometime 6 or later.
Yeah.
Well, there was a bunch of dance dads there. We were hanging out, and then we saw the storm coming. And by the storm, I mean all the other families, because it's literally the only. Well,
there's
it's
other
the
places,
closest, I should say.
It's right across the street.
Literally right across the street from the main entrance, right?
Yeah.
So we started seeing families of 4, large group that sat over kind of by the front door, probably of 8, and then another 4. And I was like, all the dads, we were like, we got to freaking order right now, right? So we flagged the waitress over, because we knew we had to get the food. The problem, though, is probably like 4:30.
Yeah.
When this storm was slowly brewing. So we put in orders of food. Great, tied me over, but man, Big Mike, it was like maybe intermission of that night show, and I was like, oh, I'm kind of hungry again. we're gonna have to do, and we have a little family tradition with a few others. We always hit a little neighborhood. I don't even want to say the name, but we had a little neighborhood bar and grill, which is minor friendly, right?
Fruit Wasp.
Yep, there we go, Fruit Wasp, and so we went there. We went in 9, not the biggest group in the world, but not the smallest group.
Yeah, coming in at 11 o'clock.
Well, yeah, it was a little after 10. Then they said, 15-minute wait, because they had to push some tables together. And it was like, as soon as we sat down with all the families, like, we already knew what we're there for, right? Half off appetizers at 9, and some drinks.
Yep.
So the poor waiter, we were like, hey, listen, if you just want to take, you let us know what you want.
Yep.
Do the drinks and get those, or do you want to do everything? Because we're ready.
Yeah. We know what we're doing. We're regulars.
So he said, let's do it. And then, Cooper and I felt like we were in a competition to see how many appetizers we could go through.
Ooh.
And I'll tell you, man.
Did you go the fried route? Did you go like steak bites?
No. I chose the fried route.
Yeah.
Wings.
Uh-huh.
Wonton tacos.
Uh-huh.
Mozzarella sticks.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'm not hearing a lot of vegetable in that.
I had a few pieces of celery with my chicken wings.
Oh, there you go.
Apparently, this restaurant does not do carrots.
Oh.
So it was just straight celery.
Well, at least there's a lot of fiber in celery. Like that's the lesson that I'm learning lately, is that fiber is necessary for me for, when I'm eating like shit. I've got to get some fiber in me. Otherwise, it's going to slow me down for a day or so.
Yep.
But here's the advantage. So I'm in Delta Park yesterday and today for a lacrosse tournament, and it's just all porta potties at this place. And I know I'm like, I can't make myself poop in those porta potties on day 2. So like day 1, I was okay. They're basically brand new porta potties at that point. It's fine. But this morning I was like,
nope.
I can't poop in a porta potty, and we're in Delta Park, so there's no restaurants really around that you can go in and be like, gee golly gosh, I'll get a breakfast sandwich and then I'm gonna use your bathroom, because those bathrooms are locked down so hard because there's so many homeless and everything else up in that area.
Yeah, that area is rough.
And so last night I didn't take my normal fiber pills that I take almost every night nowadays at this age. And so sure enough, this morning I wake up and I'm like, I don't have to poop. This is great. Get through the game, get everything packed up, get all the way home. Still don't have to poop. Still have not pooped. So, like, at some point in between now and 9 p.m., I'm really hoping my body naturally does this. Otherwise, the hot dogs that I ate at the place yesterday, plus Red Robin last night, plus, everything else today, like, it's all still there. It needs to go, but I didn't take my fiber, so now I'm waiting.
Well, I'll tell you, man. Go get some chicken wings and some celery at that restaurant. You'll go twice by morning.
Hang on, I'm going to text Joanna right now. Please pick me up spicy chicken wings. I need to poop.
Dude, and I was just full. Like, that point.
Yeah.
Like the 3 apps right before bed didn't help.
Yeah.
But I also consumed some Brutus's of beer.
Yep.
And then at the first bar that we went to in the morning, right, pepper jack cheeseburger and the French fries, and they had pallet jack there. So probably not, once again, right, lesson learned, probably starting with a very delicious IPA from, 1:30 to 6.
Yep.
Not the best idea. The other lesson that I learned is one of the senior graduates, their family, huge family, right? Blended family. So they had 2 tables, just this one group.
Yeah.
Well, then we decided, hold on, before we go, let's do some frickin' best bourbon. They had some Maker's Mark, right?
Yeah.
Next thing I know, we're already closed out, right?
Yep.
Should have probably started to leave.
Uh-huh.
Reopened the tab. Started doing whiskey. And I'm like I said, Big Mike came in hot, man. For a split second, I really thought I was on the campaign trail. I was shaking hands. I was looking for babies to kiss in the audience. It was go time.
I'm sure Kate wasn't annoyed at that at all.
No, I kept looking over my shoulder as I walked down the aisle to get to the reserved seats, right?
Yeah.
And I could see her like, oh, man, here he goes.
God damn it.
Here he goes.
Like, what she wouldn't give for that training collar to be on you and just be like, bup, 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 bup. No,
yeah.
sit.
No, I probably needed one. I probably needed one. It only lasted a little bit because that night show, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
It was great. It was all the comp, right? There was like 30 some dances before intermission.
Oh God. I appreciate the way McKenna did her dance stuff this year, but I really appreciated not having to go to the Dance Coast showcase on Sunday, because if you've already seen all those dances, or at least most of those dances throughout the year at the various competitions, I don't need them one after another for me to remind me of all the money that I've paid for all of this. So not having to go to that because McKenna didn't compete this year that way, like that was kind of amazing. Now, I was stuck at Delta Park instead, so I would have happily have joined you at Walter Mitty's from 1 o'clock until 5 something, but I didn't have any reason to go there, and because I was stuck at Delta Park with no drinks and porta potties and pretty much voodoo donuts and some dude with a hot dog stand.
Oh, he was probably raking it in.
Oh, yeah. And
yesterday
didn't take cards, so cash only.
Oh, genius.
And he was just peeling, money off of this stack. Like, I think he probably went through 200-300 hot dogs, and he was sold out by 12:30. He's like, all I've got left is bratwurst. I'm like, all right, that sounds good. Lesson learned, don't eat a hot dog and then a bratwurst from a cart at Delta Park.
On a hot Sunday.
Oh. I probably would have been better off just grazing on the grass on the fields. Dumbass.
Dude, that's genius, though, man. That guy must have been killing it because it was a beautiful, beautiful day yesterday.
83 with all that moisture coming off those heavily watered fields.
Oh, buddy.
It was a little steamy. I appreciate that the surrounding area has been cleared of most of the problematic things that have been there in years past. But I ended up having to park at the defunct Walmart that's right there. So, like, they shut down a Walmart right next to Delta Park.
That's right.
Because it was just all theft all the time. And so they shut it down. So the parking lot's just abandoned. And so that we're all just parking there and walking across this, dried up creek to get into the park. And it's like, well, there's worse places to be, but still, I'm not entirely sure what the smell is over here. Like, I know they've cleaned it up, but that smells a little funky.
Yeah, there's been probably so much stuff over the years, right? Layer on layer on layer. All those motorhomes.
Oh, burned out motorhomes, burned out cars. Yeah. I'm sure there's a bunch of adult diapers buried in there, like all sorts of fun stuff.
And those motorhomes, they just kind of keep the old gray water tank valved open, right? So that way you got all that beautiful organic material flowing,
fertilizer, really.
Flowing down the curb in the street next to them.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Well, so lesson learned. I learned, one, we tried to park in the regular area, and it was just chock full. And God forbid people learn how to park in an open field straight. Like, somehow they just end up in these points, and then, then somebody will start a new line. And so you've got these weird triangles all over this field. Like, there's no way to figure out which way is the right way. Then you're backing up because now you're pinned in. But then somebody in their, Lexus GX is behind you. Like, just go forward. Like, no, dude. No, you can't. You can't. You got to back up.
No, I'm not sure why they still allow field parking, because
without at least an attendant there to be like, this is a line, or cones or something.
Dude, get some freaking chalk and just...
You painted the lines in the grass everywhere. You couldn't have painted a few more lines in the field where everybody's parked.
People struggle in parking lots.
Oh.
Right? I have a neighbor next to my employment.
Yeah.
She can't park worth a shit.
No, she cannot.
Her freaking small Escalade, not even the full size, right? I guess it's, you know what I'm talking about. It doesn't have the larger back.
Yeah, it's the Tahoe of the Escalades.
Man, there is not a corner panel on that vehicle that's not scratched, dented, bruised. Her running boards are beat to shit.
I think there has been one time that I've come to tap where that thing is actually parked inside the lines.
And I don't know how to politely have that conversation.
Do you have to have it politely, or do you just walk up and be like, "Sweetie, get in the damn lines because you're taking up 2 parking spots in a parking lot that is not big enough for you to take up 2 parking spots." And trust me, you're not parking your Ferrari here trying to keep the dents off your doors. You've already dented somebody's car here, so go ahead and just keep it in the lines.
Every time I see her get in to back out, usually it's my car on the left-hand side, but sometimes when she's taking up both parking spots, I have to park somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right? But I'll actually kind of turn my head. Luckily, the bar kind of faces the parking lot, so when I'm tending, I can kind of see what's going on in the parking lot on Highway 99.
So when Mike goes totally quiet for a minute and leans a little to the right,
don't worry, I'm not having a seizure. I'm just making sure the Escalade doesn't destroy the car next to it, or God forbid the wine barrels that is supposed to be our barrier around our patio area.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, this is for par. Oh, all right. So let's see where Scotty's got a putt for par. Let's see what happens. This is great. I love watching playoff golf.
See?
Except
for I just realized Big Mike's doing it again in the video.
Lean.
I'm leaning. I'm going to get real damn low like him. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, now you can see. It's we've not learned our lesson yet with this whole video part yet, so
work in progress.
I'm looking straight at the light and I can see feet and a hat right now.
Yeah.
This is great. It's fantastic. So he's got 2 putts to win. There we go. So one more and he wins. There we go. Oh, well,
quick sudden death.
Yep, that was a quick sudden death. There we go.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Hey, look, he didn't get arrested by the cops that ran on the green, so obviously I think the cops have learned their lesson.
Leave Scheffler alone.
All right, you want to take a little break?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, we'll be back.
This episode of the Whiskey and Wine Podcast is sponsored by Portland Party Bus, Portland's original party bus company, where the ride becomes the party. PDX Party Bus pricing is all inclusive. This means all the hourly rates include all fees and mileage. No surprise charges at the end of your party, just professional staff and a party all along the way. Visit them at pdxpartybus.com and plan your next wine tasting, birthday party, or just a great weekend. pdxpartybus.com.
Good little breaks, eh? Little refill.
Oh,
little bathroom.
Little bathroom.
Little water. Proud of myself. See?
Yeah, look at us. I even finished mine. Mine's all gone. Like empty cup holder.
Lesson learned once again. Need water.
Rehydration is important. Mm-hmm. Little fiber, little rehydration. Like, we're learning all sorts of things after 40 years of fucking it up.
Well, hey, at least we're still learning, buddy.
Speaking of learning,
yeah.
So Jackson is learning a few things today and yesterday and the day before. So they're trying to play in this camping thing where like a dozen of them go camping July 1st and 2nd or something like that. So they initially had this place picked out up in Washington about an hour and a half away. They're like, look at how beautiful this is. It's right by a lake and it's neat little campgrounds and everything else.
Actual like state campgrounds where you're paying. So
yep.
Okay, all right.
So they'd gone on to the state campground website, and they'd reserve the campground and everything else.
Oh shit! Okay.
And they're like, all right,
small group, big group, boys, girls, boys
and girls.
Okay, so co-ed camping
yeah,
trip.
co-ed camping. Which,
all right, state campground.
You know, if it's you and I, it's probably a bad idea. but you know, I think these kids are a little bit more responsible, and you know, I'm hoping they're a little bit more responsible, but so they like, look at how beautiful this is, and you know, there's 10 of us or 12 of us or whatever, and yeah, we're gonna go up there, and you know, we've got food figured out and water figured out and everything, and then we start like asking for details, and then they send us the link to this campground. We forward it on to my brother-in-law who camps all the time, and he's like, that is a terrible campground. If you do not have a high clearance off-road vehicle, you'll never get to that campground because the road goes from gravel to not entirely sure what.
Just deep ruts.
And then you have to hike in at least 1.5 miles to 2 miles to get to the campground. There's no bathrooms, there's no water, and it is a small, you know, very intimate campground, and there's no cell signal at all.
Oh, yeah.
So we're like, okay, so probably not a good idea for your first outing on your own.
It seems a little remote.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like half of you might come back. Little worried about that. So, you know, lesson learned, it's like there are other campgrounds around. You don't have to just go on the state website. You can go and look at county campgrounds in the area. There's lots of those county parks that are also campgrounds, and they usually have bathrooms. They're usually within cell service because it's a county or a city park essentially. And you can find all sorts of other. Oh yeah, look, they found one out in Clackamas County. Nice little place. You and I have both been. It's got frisbee golf. It's got bathrooms. It's got waters. You can pull right up to the campground that you're in.
Fire rings, picnic tables, like
all these things, and it is far easier to do instead of how are we gonna get 7 gallons of water from the car to the campground, and then you have to pack everything back out, as opposed to shove it all in the back of the car and just get out of there.
Yep.
So they're learning lessons. They're also learning that if you don't have tents, you can't assume that tents will magically appear. Like, we did a massive purge in January at our house, and part of what got purged was all the camping gear. Because Joanna and I both decided that we are never camping again because we're too old. We're just too, like, if there isn't at least a bidet option, we don't really want to do it anymore. Like, flushing independent toilet and a shower or I'm out. Like,
well, Kate will be going with you guys because Kate is not a camper.
Oh, like, if there's not a robe hanging up, I don't know that I want to do it anymore. Like, I've woken up too many times smelling like beer, campfire, and pretty sure a hot dog I cooked at 1 a.m.
Yeah, those damn 1 a.m. hot dogs.
Ooh. And then you wake up and you're like, everything's in a different place than when I remember. Like, what did we do this? Did a bear do this? Did bear and we do this? Did we get drunk with a bear? Like, what's going on? Why is everything still open? And oh, nope, that whole bottle of whiskey's gone. That was us.
Oh man, we did an annual guys camping trip for so many years, and it was funny. It was probably mid to late 20s.
Okay.
It kind of fizzled out. Mostly because, you know, having kids.
Yep.
And just life and career, and everyone's got super, super busy.
Yep.
But we had a good run of having this trip. Luckily, we were a little more prepared. Like, in my house, I have I like your idea of purging, because we have 2 sets of camping stuff. I have a nice tent for the family, right? And nice sleeping bags, and nice Aero mattresses. And then I have what I call the guys' weekend camping stuff. Like, this tent has never been swept out. There's still probably cookies, partial hot dogs, God knows what in this thing.
Several critters that got packed up one morning, and you never really managed to get them out of there.
It smells like Coors Light and farts. Like this tent is, and I had to buy another one because I was like, I can't have my family stay in this tent.
They wouldn't stay in that tent.
No. There
would be a protest.
We would I remember we'd set it up, right? We'd unroll it, and it was one of the nicer, I don't know, maybe 8-person.
Okay.
It was always the one that Costco would always have hanging up every year,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Dome tent, pretty easy to set up. But it was, I remember we'd set it up, and it was like, all right, we'd have to open up everything, because you would get hit with the previous year pungent smells of just, like I said, the outside was thrown up on multiple times, crumbs and shit. We had one of our buddy D's nuts. He would bring some of his mom's famous cookies, and we'd be in there, 3 a.m, fucking crumbs all over and just shit. So it might be time. It might be time to purge, because it's been many years since it's been used, and it could be time to retire it.
It may be.
Maybe is this something that I pass on?
No. You cannot offer it to Jackson.
Okay.
For one of 2 reasons. One is, then it will end up at my house, and I don't need that smell in the basement storage area.
Oh yeah, because it will find a way up here.
Yeah, right. Like, what's that smell? I don't know. It showed up a few weeks ago, and it hasn't.
Is
it's
Big Mike's guys camping tent?
I smell cookies and vomit. And 2, I don't want to give him an easy out on this.
Right,
this is like you and I and everybody else listening has all had to try and figure these situations out.
Dude, I had to buy all this gear, right? We had one of those Coleman barbecues, and it was nice because it was kind of the transformer one. You could do grates or the cast iron.
Ooh, nice.
We said, fuck it, dude. We could just put cast iron skillet on the cast iron griddle, right? And that's how we'd boil. And we made it. We made do, right? It was guys' camping trip. Our focus was more on how much beer do we need to bring, and how do we get enough ice
to keep the beer cold.
And that was pretty much, we ate really good as far as food, but we also drank really good.
Now, let's correct that. You ate plenty, but not really good.
Well, I don't know. We had these things. So we always would do Detroit Lake.
Yeah.
And we were not state campground gentlemen, because we couldn't adhere to like the 10 p.m. quiet time. Not that not that we have frickin' rap music and we're shooting guns in the air, but I mean, we would have at any point, 6 to 15 guys, right? We were in our early 20s, all legal drinking age and everything, but we would roll in with a few kegs and some of the Rubbermaid trash cans, and it was just, there was no way that we could be in state campground, so we'd pull off.
At 10 p.m., you're not quiet.
No, not happening. So we would always go to, what would that be, the south side of Detroit Lake. There's a little road called, what is it called, Tile Flat or Blowout, I don't know, something with your tires, right?
Yeah.
And we would go, and there would be sandbars along the lake there.
Yep.
No restrooms, right?
Yep.
So we did have, we had a piss.
Dig in the hole.
Yeah. But it was a guys' camping trip, so none of us cared about having that facility because we would just make do.
Yeah.
But, man, the other parameters, we couldn't do the mile or 2 hiking, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, hell no.
We had to, it was like, we had our one spot, and it was about a 20 to 40 yard walk, and that was long enough because these kids, they don't, dude, the shit's heavy.
Yeah.
Right? Water ain't light, right?
Water's
All your
not
other
light.
camping stuff, propane tanks. If you're
the
using
cooler full of all the food, because God forbid we have like several smaller coolers. Everybody just did the big ass Costco igloo cooler that weighs 700 pounds when it's full of food and ice and everything else. Now it kept everything cold all weekend, but it weighs 700 pounds.
It was yes, miserable, right?
Yep.
So no, that's good. See, hey, they're learning.
I mean, they're going to have an experience. I would put solid money on at least 40% regret. At least 40% regret.
Well, and it's planned. It's coming up. You said early.
Yeah, early July.
All
We'll see how this ends up.
All
like,
right.
I told Jackson he could borrow the truck if he wants to, just try and cram everything in the back, and that way, at least you've got, everything in the back of the truck. You can take firewood and a cooler and a bunch of other things and generally be okay. And now that it's just out in Clackamas County, like I hope for the best and I am planning for the worst.
Well, luckily, like you said, they are going to a county spot
with cell service. There is a camp host there. Yep.
So I mean, they'll have a good time.
Yep.
It's not going to be out in wild west Mother Nature by themselves.
I think they would have a better time if they camped in our backyard because then they got Wi-Fi and we're not going to bother them after 10 o'clock and they can come in and use a real bathroom. But you guys want to go be outdoorsy with giant ass air quotes? Go ahead.
Do you know the group that's going?
Yeah. And they're mostly very good kids.
Any of them with camping experience? Are they all around Jackson's level of camping IQ?
Or less.
Okay, so
this is going to be an experience. There will be lessons learned. And I am learning lessons as well, in that I was absolutely a solid no on the whole thing. I just, and everything that kept getting dropped, like, oh, but they're gonna do X, oh, but they're gonna do Y. I'm like, no, that still doesn't. No. Like, because I'm just looking at it through, like you would do, my 17-year-old eyes.
Yeah.
And I can tell you that 17-year-old brain, not good. It's capable, but it is oftentimes unimpressive.
Yeah, no. I remember, I think I had one or two camping trips around Jackson's age at that time, and I can.
Yeah.
Well, won't share right now, but. but.
Whew. Ooh. I did some dumbass stuff.
I had lessons learned.
Yeah, lessons learned.
I learned how much vodka to put in a watermelon.
and there is actually a limit to that.
There is a see. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that. No. I thought, big watermelon
whole bottle.
Yeah, no. That got
nope. You have to pick the right watermelon.
Yeah. No. Yeah. There. See. So. Yeah. All right. Well, good. Now I want to be. I want to kept in the loop on this. You
want to have a sleepover while they're doing camping?
I'm very intrigued with. I want to come up here when it's done. I want to hear everything about menu. Right. I want to know their menu plans. How did all the food go? How did the hopefully now?
Oh my God.
Do they have a tent yet for the? You said there's 10 of them or so.
Yeah.
So do they have a tent?
A tent.
Okay, 8. Oh, so and it's a small tent, right?
All
right. Well.
Yep. No, there's all sorts of things they're gonna have to try and work out, and it's. I'm trying to let them figure it out on their own, but I am. What I've learned is that I just want to say no and be like, no, you guys are too big of idiots to try and pull this off. But Joanna is being very good, and that she is trying to get me to listen to their evolving plan.
All right.
I mean, I'm breathing. Ooh-sa. Ooh-sa. Like, oh, Jesus. I'm so unimpressed.
Oh, camping trips. Well, see, hey, you never know, right?
Yep.
Proud
Yeah.
that this age group actually wants to do
This.
something outdoors,
Yeah.
right? That's not...
Like, at first they were like, would you fund a... Like, I love how they start something with, would you fund? Like, what have I not funded? Like, everything you do is funded by us.
Oh,
Like,
that's so funny.
You don't know. You don't pay for anything. Would you fund a trip to the beach? Like, what do you mean a trip to the beach? Well, we'd get a hotel. I'm like, okay, one, you're under 18. You can't get a hotel.
And a lot of the ones on the coast I've noticed throughout 21 and older now.
Yeah.
Or at least the ones that we're probably staying at or looking at, right?
Yeah.
There's definitely some brands out there.
You can't just be 18 and renting a room anymore.
No.
It's gone to the rental car level now. Like, well, I don't know that we even trust a 21-year-old to rent a hotel room at this point. So, no, at 17 you cannot. So, okay, what was your next bit? Well, maybe we'll just do a day trip. We'll leave really early, and then we'll go do a few things along the coast, and then we'll come back, and then we could drive back the next day if we wanted to do more. Like, no. Okay, so now you've wasted 2 tanks of gas just driving back and forth, and no. Would you fund? Like, that is the possibly the worst way that you could ask something of a parent. Would you fund my bail money? No. No, I want you to stay in there until you see a judge.
Oh, shit. Or you call Big Mike's bail service, and I'll charge you 25.89%.
Ooh. You've got an actual rate ready?
Oh, God. Well,
Yeah.
we don't have them here, though, right? Oregon, we don't have bail bonds.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Do we?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But it's not like someplace like Vegas.
Oh, I love Vegas, man.
Holy
Those
crap.
fucking
You get off the
billboards.
plane and there's billboards for bail bonds. Like,
It's...
take a picture of this for when you get arrested. Like, wait a minute. I just
Are
got
you
off
here
the
on a
plane.
guy's trip? Scan this QR code. It's a one code. It's attorney, bail bonds.
You can fly home at the end and we'll show up for you in court. Like, wait, what?
This is the be all QR code. No, it is funny, man. Then you get out of the airport and it's every freaking billboard between that super short drive from the airport to the strip, right? It can't be more than a mile, if that.
Yeah,
right?
but it takes 40 minutes.
Oh, it's so funny, man.
It's every billboard. It's either
Crazy Jim's liquor store, cheapest prices in town. The next one,
Injured-
DUI.
Yeah, injured in an accident, call so-and-so. Like, wait,
Oh.
how many people are getting injured in accidents?
They don't call it Sin City for nothing. Right?
Yeah, like, all right, I guess I'm going to go trip at the Mirage and hope that they take good care of me.
The old slip and fall.
Oh my goodness, somebody hurt me. I need compensation. I'll take the VIP room.
That's right. Just give me a suite for the night with a $10,000 credit.
Yep. And we'll call it good.
Yeah, we'll call it even.
I've got 2 ankles. I can replace one.
Maybe one trip through the buffet for the big guy. I need them crab legs.
No.
prime rib.
I want one of the sit-down restaurants because I want that tomahawk.
Oh yeah,
Come out sizzling on a plate
with that garlic butter.
Yep.
Oh Jesus.
Yep. And you're just slicing off chunks of it.
Okay.
Just all the
Dude, now I'm gonna have to go eat before I go to this graduation.
Yeah, see,
party.
now I'm getting you all up on the tomahawk.
Hot and bothered over here. Big Mike's getting.
I'm talking about meat, Mike.
Oh, dude, and sizzling meat at that.
Sizzling meat.
I love that sizzle.
Unless it's like the fajita plate that comes out from wherever you are, and the thing's lava. Like the cast iron is red hot somehow. Like, wait. How? Like, did we not cook it beforehand? Did we just put it in the furnace or the glass furnace? Did you make the pan out of actual steel and iron and then put the food on top of it, and now you're just letting it cook on the raw, still 1100 degree iron?
Well, so I was going to head into the bourbon review, but you just brought up a very recent lesson learned on my behalf on Thursday.
Oh.
So we go get fajitas. Kate and I. We have a quick little date night because Maddie's working backstage at recital.
Okay.
Cooper is of driving age, right?
Yeah.
So the kid, this is the first. Cheers. This is the first recital.
Oh, you didn't actually had to be there.
Dress rehearsal. And the dad, since we were so
we'll be
good,
there next year.
Since we were so good at the dance, they didn't even require the dads to be at tech and dress rehearsal. Once again, this
they made you practice before.
Oh, yeah. We ran it like 3 times on stage on Friday. Yeah. But that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
We didn't have to show up Thursday, first time ever. So Kate and I were like,
all right,
let's have a little date night. Right, let's go out.
Yeah,
kids, Mexican foods, on their behalf, right? And they do like chicken fajitas. I'm like, I don't. You guys have to expand your palate, but whatever. That's a whole nother episode, right? So we go out, do a little favorite kind of hole in the wall Mexican restaurant, Tigard.
Yep.
Kate always gets the fajitas, and they always look so good. And then I'm like, you know what? I'll do something else, and then I usually regret it. So I'm like, you know what? Lesson learned. I'm getting the fajitas too.
Damn straight.
So they show up. Now we have 2 fucking molten lava cast iron skillets. It was the mushroom cloud of steam. We literally went home and it was the same as Benihana's. Our fucking hair smelt. All of our clothes. We had so much steam at the little 2-top that we had for her and I, right?
Not only that, then you're like reaching around. So like they bring out that on the wood platter, that cast iron that is smoking hot, and then they set your tortillas off to the side in the little tortilla warmer, and then so there's everything everywhere, but you can't reach over.
Nope.
Because you will absolutely get a radiated burn, or you'll touch it and burn yourself. And so you're doing this awkward like reach around and like, okay, now I'm gonna move this over here.
Well, the table was so small, so we had 2 fajitas, right, sizzling, 2 of the tubs for the tortillas, and then the other molten fucking plate that they bring out with the beans and the rice and all the other stuff, and they tell you don't touch that because that's just as hot. So now we're looking on this little 2-top table that we have, right? Kate has 3 things, I have 3 things. We both have margaritas, we have chips and salsa. There is no room for a dinner plate. So I was like, I don't need a dinner plate. Watch this. So I literally, Kate goes, I want to start making a fajita right now because it's really hot. And I'm like, oh, but Big Mike's hungry and there's food. So I literally grab a tortilla, put the onions and the veggies, right, and the meat and everything. I'm literally holding it. I'm like, oh shit, it's so hot. And she is laughing. She goes, it's gonna take you 20 freaking minutes to even. She says I have baby fingers because I can't do hot very well, right? And I'm literally sitting there like a kid that no one wants to play with on a playground, right? It's
arms
torture.
Folded.
I'm having this just mushroom cloud of just
fantastic smells, and it looks so good.
I can touch it. I can see it. I can everything, right? I'm going,
but you can't get near it.
I can't actually consume it because it's fucking 900 degrees. So Kate had a very good...
Why do we do this to ourselves?
Kate had a very good chuckle. See, I thought lesson learned. I'm going to be a big boy. I'm going to order what I knows delicious. Not that anything from the restaurant. It's just
that always looks so
fajitas
good.
are always, I feel like, a go-to.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to
turn down like fresh sizzling meat right there. It's like you said, it's the same as the tomahawk. Comes out, it's still cooking. Like there's no rest time and everything.
And
it's
I don't
just
know how
there.
I have those same tools at the house. We bought a fajita set, right?
Yeah.
Man, I don't know how their onions and their peppers. I mean, I think I know. It's lard and they use other things that I don't have at the house, right?
Yeah. Well, we can get you Crisco.
But I'm like, oh, man.
So good.
It's so freaking good. It's hard to replicate that at home, at least at my level of cooking.
We could do it. The problem is that to do it would be such a pain in the ass to clean up for us that we would prefer not to do it. So, like, you can do fajitas. I did an entire pig. That fucking pit is still sitting out there because I've not disassembled it because now I've got this cement block pit back there with 64 frickin' cement blocks. Is that high on my list of shit to pull apart and find a place? No. It is not.
Did anyone from that event that you held, did anyone help set that up with you?
No, I built that
then you
son
were,
of a...
okay. So now I'm saying, so you were solo of the setup and solo of the teardown.
Exactly.
No offers on the table?
Nope.
Oh, yeah.
And the last time I did this, I did it out in the cul-de-sac. But because the cul-de-sac is technically HOA property, I got eventually an email from the HOA going, it's been out there for 3 weeks. Could you please pick it up? It looks really trashy. And the redneck in me is like, you want trashy?
You think this is trashy?
I'm going down to Pick and Pull, and I'm going to go get an engine block, and I'm going to hang it from that tree right there.
And the next time I smoke a pig, I'm going back down to Pick and Pull. I'm getting a car, and we're going to do fucking pig in the front and pork in the trunk. We're gonna have a car smoker.
Yep. The trunk is going to be for the whole hog. I'm going to get some big boat of a car. We're going to smoke it in the trunk. Oh God. Maybe that's like I wanted to make
we could use
a
the bricks
smoker.
to put the car on.
So we've got a car right down there on the edge of the property.
Seriously?
That's left over from the 80s and 90s.
So it's a fucking metal car.
Yeah, and it's a Buick.
Oh.
So it's got the big fat butt on it, right?
Okay.
So we could cut the back end of that thing off, and we could turn the trunk into a smoker so that like people come around and like they see our house and it's beautiful and they walk around and there's the putting green and all the greens and the flowers and the view, and then there's the fucking ass end of a Buick sitting there, and the way you open it up and there's just a grill there and you're just smoking a whole hog there. Like, come on down. Oh, this is way better than a porta potty. This sounds like so much fun.
Okay, we might have to take as we experiment with some of the things that we have upcoming in the episodes closer to the Olympics. We might have to do
You want to do a live
trip.
shot?
Well, we might have to do a field trip with one of the cameras down there.
Yeah, I think we could do a live shot.
Pointed it kind of out the general area to me.
Yep.
But I don't know if I've ever put eyes on this Buick, so we might have to do one of these days. Do a quick little. I don't have to do a tour, right? But just kind of go down to the.
Man, we just take a sawzall out there and cut the back end off of this thing.
Whiskey and wine Buick smoker.
All through the summer, we're just doing live episodes in front of this thing. So every once in a while, you hear. Oh, see, this is why we do the podcast, so that we can come up with these brilliant ideas that are totally going to get approval from the wives.
Unplanned, unprovoked, just
do you want to do
drinking.
So I'll take the trunk. Do you want the front end? We'll pull the engine out. Do you want the front end of the Buick, and you can turn it into your smoker in your backyard?
Oh, man. I could just park it right down by the party bus.
Oh, yeah, you could.
Right.
We could leave the front end tires on.
Oh, man. I'm kind of liking this idea. Or do I turn it into like a... No, I was going to say I could put like a kegerator system with the draft towers that come out like a big old engine block, right?
Oh, I've got it even better. We'll just hook the kegs up to the windshield wiper dispensers. We'll just point them forward. You pull a little trigger and just
Okay. It's Big Mike waterboarding right
there. Where's Mike? Oh, he's out there making sure the car's okay.
Oh my goodness, dude! Good times. All right, so that might be something we have to add on the schedule. We might have to go do a field trip down to the Buick and just take a look.
All right, that's fine. These cameras are mobile.
Yeah. Oh, good.
I've got the little mobile mics. We'll put the mobile microphones on, hook it up to a camera, and it'll just be like 15 minutes of you and I trying to get down a steep ass hill and get down to the Buick, and then we're like, oh. This does work.
We might have to bring some snacks along for the ride.
Just a bottle of whiskey and some peanuts.
That's all we need.
Mm-hmm.
That's all we need.
We can sit on the roof of the car for an episode.
Oh, buddy. Okay, I'm down. I'm all.
We are white trash whiskey and
wine. I love it. Give it 3 trunks of a Buick.
Oh God, yes, that's so much better than 3 barrels like the wives suggested.
That everyone else does. We would have so many cease and desist letters in our inbox.
Buick's like, shut up! Stop dragging us into your stupid podcast.
Please do not put our name in your mouth.
Buick is not sponsoring the Whiskey and Wine podcast. But hey, Kirkland and Costco, still waiting for that call.
Still waiting. You see what shirt Big Guy has on right now?
This one's not Costco.
Hey, it's all good.
But hey, anything you got that's husky sized. I'm definitely a husky boy. All right, Mike, what do you think? This is the Woodinville whiskey bourbon, 90 proof, out of Woodinville, Washington.
I like it. We've been sipping on it, what?
An hour.
About an hour. It's very, like I said, fruit right off the bat, man. When you poured it, I was like, holy shit. It was almost
so
like
sweet.
Fruit cocktail, right?
Yeah.
Like I got a little bit of everything, and that, that fruit cocktail smell and that syrup.
Oh,
I was like, holy shit, dude. This is like full on sweet fruit goodness, right? And the first sip I had super, super sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Mellowed out. It's not very high octane, which is good. That's the last thing I needed today was a bunch of...
I mean, we can fix that.
I told you where I'm going next. They have more bottles. They have enough wine and beer at this graduation party. Kate even was like, I think they were planning for a wedding. Like, this is wedding level alcohol. And I'm like, oh, man.
I should text Joanna and be like, just meet me there. We're going to the grad party.
Oh.
I hear there's lots of booze and good food.
Well, that's the part that I'm questioning. I don't know about it. Has to be food, right?
God,
It starts at 3.
I hope there's food.
For my sake.
No food and all that booze.
Dude, all I had,
it's going to be a sleepover.
I had a granola bar. That was it. My 3 apps filled me up. Literally went home. I barely could crush a pounder, 16-ounce beer. And it was like Kate and I, she was trying to play with the new kitten. And I looked over, and she's pretty much asleep with the fucking stick thing in her hand. I'm snoring on the couch. The kids were smart, right? Cooper was exhausted. Madison, of course, wasn't feeling good. I think there was a lot of people in the back.
Yep.
That were kind of passing around the same little sick germs. So
Uh-huh.
I think there's going to be a few kids out probably with this upcoming week. But it's like, the kids were smart. They were like, we're exhausted. We're going to bed. Kate's like, well, we got to play with the cat. And I was like, well, I just cracked the beer and watered the garden out front.
Yeah.
So it was like, nope. then it was time for bed.
Yep.
So I was full. So hopefully
there's some food
at this next one. Back to the review. I got on a sidetrack. Sorry. Big Mike look at the squirrel over here.
Yeah. Focus.
I'm focusing. Man, it's still a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, so it's about a $40 bottle. Generally pretty available. Like you can find it in most liquor stores.
Yeah.
I think that
only
helps.
90 proof.
Yep. I think that helps with the new owners that are Moet Hennessy.
Mm-hmm.
So they were able to get a lot more distribution going on. So I think that helps with the distribution. Yeah. Low octane, decent price.
We learned after a little researching, it's 5-year.
Yep. So it's young. It's young comparatively to a lot of the stuff that we've had. I don't know. It's at least a gold for me. But I don't know that the complexity is there. Like it's got great flavor, but it's not very complex.
Yeah.
Like it's just really sweet on the front end, and now that we're an hour in, like it's
lost a little bit.
It's lost a bit.
Yeah, no, I don't think I could go any higher than gold for myself.
Yeah.
Mostly because it would be a hair too sweet for me for like an everyday drinker.
Yeah.
Nice little Sunday sitting around doing this, right?
Yep.
Watching golf, College World Series.
Yep.
I don't think I could do more than a few of them.
Yep.
Just for my palate, because I have that weird. I just, like I said,
you want flavor, but not like so much sugar that you feel like you're gonna get pixie dust.
I prefer less fruit, more on the caramel, right, and the different oaks and what comes out of that, and some vanilla and a little more of the deeper flavors.
Yeah,
not to knock the fruit stuff, but just for my palate.
Well, and I'm a cigar smoker, so I like that deep, like kind of tobacco-y, like it's sweet, but it's rich and dark and everything else.
Yep.
Same reason we drink deep red wines. Like I like a good deeper flavor to it, and this is great. I think actually this would be a good introduction for people to a local bourbon.
Yep.
Local-ish. I think this is, you're not out a lot of money. It starts out really floral, fruity in the front, and then mellows out.
This could be too, out of what we've drank, maybe beside some of the bottle and bond stuff.
Yep.
This could be
great old fashioned.
This could be the best one for an old fashioned.
I would agree.
Just because could you imagine put a little burnt orange peel into this with all of the other
a little bit of bitterness in there, a little bit of rich sugar in there, all of that kind of stuff I think this would work well with. So for me, like this would be like, this is a platinum old fashioned.
No, I actually, yes, I bet you this would make some of the best old fashioned Manhattans, whatever, you know what I mean?
But as far as just a straight sipper, I think I'm gonna have to go gold.
I'm going gold. Yep. I got a double gold over here.
All right, gold, buddy.
Look at that, man. We've been pretty
even.
Pretty even, man. Well, you heard it first here. Right out the.
According to the Whiskey and Wine podcast, Woodinville Bourbon Whiskey, 90 proof, is a gold.
Boom.
Hey, you know what? It'll catch on at some point. Somebody listens to us.
That's right. Someone listens. I'll go create some hype right now.
Yeah.
At the grad party.
All right, perfect.
There should be some dance.
You got your hat on.
Yeah.
So
I'll go over there. I'll come in blaze and just. You guys won't even believe what we tried today. And then I just give them a little teaser, right?
Well, guys, thank you so much for listening, and eventually watching the Whiskey and Wine podcast. Again, if you have any kind of video editing experience, please go ahead and text, email, drop us a line on the website, get a hold of us through Instagram, whatever it is. Because so far it's taken 4 weeks for me to get one episode edited, and I tried a second one and I failed miserably. So now I have to start over again, do all that stuff all over again because I suck at this. Also, I learned today that my computer does not have enough storage for all the video files that we have, so I'm going to have to figure out something else to do. So again, you got suggestions, you got skills, you got whatever go ahead and get a hold of us, because we'll take the help.
Take anything we can get.
Yeah, we're special, and it's not in the nice way that your parents told you. Well, guys, thanks so much for listening to the Whiskey and Wine podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Big Mike. Till next week, you guys.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
The Whiskey and Wine podcast is brought to you by Tapforia, Tigard, Oregon's first growler tap house. Founded in 2014, Tapforia has 28 taps, including beer, wine, cider, seltzer, and kombucha. Did you know that they are a bottle shop as well now? Stop in for a pint, glass, growler, or a 4, 6, or 12 pack of the latest and greatest offerings of our local breweries. Located on Highway 99W in Tigard. Visit tapforia.com and follow them on social media to see what they have on tap each day. Tapforia, craft beer and wines.